Get ready with me while I tell you how I ended my 13-year relationship a few months before the wedding.
I swear my mama's like, oh, you wanna play with my intelligence. Hey you guys, it's your girl Djena. Welcome back to another video. Let's be serious here, okay? This creator is called Lost in Wonder. We're going to find out how she dissolved, not a lip filler, but a whole relationship of 13 years, a few months before the wedding. This must be something serious because you don't wait 13 years and then end everything before you get married, before you walk down the aisle, before you can secure the alimony. You get what I'm saying? Before you secure the sums. Sums gotta get secured. A few disclaimers here, okay? A few disclaimers here. Sometimes I could be comedic. Don't take it offensively.
I'm actually the funniest person I know. You're never gonna meet anyone like me. Do you know that?
Also, my hair, don't take it offensively. My hair is going through a lot. I'm going through a lot. And finally, please, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel because what are you doing? Let's get into the story.
Finally giving the girlies what they've been asking for. I posted a TikTok spilling some tea about my relationship a few days ago, and you guys have been requesting a story time, so here it is. This is actually my first time talking about it, but it's been some time now and I've healed, so I feel comfortable talking about it now. So a little backstory, I was with my
I'm sorry, before her backstory, do y'all see the skin? Wow.
ex for 13 years and engaged for a year. That's already a red flag. Why were we dating for an entire decade without tying the knot? But that's a whole nother story. So I met him my senior year of high school and he was just starting college. He was friends with my sister, so that's how we met. My parents loved him. I loved his family. So he finally proposed and I was literally over the moon. I had dreamt of this day my entire life, our entire relationship. So after the proposal, we did have an engagement party. So now it was time to plan the wedding. We went and looked at some venues, fell in love with one. We booked immediately. We had also booked a wedding planner and a caterer, and I decided that I was going to go to Pakistan with my mom to do all of the wedding outfits. So I was in Pakistan for 3 weeks and I ordered all my clothes and also was almost finalizing his stuff. My mom was going to stay longer to finish up everyone else's. So now I get to Dubai from Pakistan and I had a few hour layover there, so I'm literally just bored out of my mind. The funny thing was that I was messaging him and it was kind of taking him long to reply, and I'm thinking there was a 12-hour time difference, so I'm like, he should be like in bed. So I'm like, hello, where are you? And he's like, hi, and then he calls me a little bit later and then we talk and everything, and I'm about to board the flight. So then I tell him like, okay, I'm about to board, so I'll talk to you later, and he's supposed to be picking me up when I get home. Why am I shaking telling this story? Like, what is wrong with me? I'm totally okay now, but I don't know, just nervous. So I'm waiting.
Girl, your flashbacks are what making you shake right now, but go on and tell us because don't tell me he wasn't at the airport when she got there.
To board my 13-hour flight from Dubai to SF, and I never checked my DM request on Instagram, and I don't know what told me that night. So I go to it and I click on the first request. It's from a girl, and as soon as...
You know what told you? Intuition. Intuition is what told you. It's the gut. Intuition tells us every time.
As I read the first few words, you guys, the way my heart literally synced, I cannot explain that feeling. My worst nightmare just came to life. So basically her DM said, your man wasn't fishing last night. He was with me. We went to a bar to get a drink. Nothing happened between us, but I realized that he was engaged. I'm so sorry. I just looked at your Instagram. You look like a beautiful person, and I just wanted to let you know. And he was posting that he was fishing on his Instagram stories, so that's why she said that. I couldn't believe that this is happening as I'm getting ready to board my flight after just ordering my wedding outfits. My bachelorette party was booked. Everything was booked. So my first thought was like, damn, I don't really want to seem insecure, like I don't trust my man by messaging her, but like I didn't. So I just replied, do you have proof?
I'm I'm sorry, that's not feeling insecure. That's called the curiosity that killed that one cat. And it's not gonna kill the cat here because there's no cat to be killed. However, you're gonna get some answers. What? I'm sorry, but if there's nothing going on, if your significant person is innocent, no one would ever approach you with no nonsense. Wherever there's smoke, there's most likely fire.
My heart was racing. I felt so sick to my stomach. Like, I can't even explain. So I called him back immediately. I got out of the line to board and I called him and he's like acting casual. Obviously, he's like, what's up? And I was like, so what were you doing last night? And he's so confused because we had just got off the phone. And he's like, what do you mean? I told you I went fishing. And then I was like, okay, and before you went fishing? And he's like, oh, I went to blah, blah, blah bar to get some drinks with so-and-so. And he's like, why? At this point, he already knows that I know something because why did I just call back to question him? So I asked who was he at the bar with and he named his friends. And I was like, no, who else was there? He's like, just us. You're crazy. What's wrong with you? And I was like,
not the gaslighting. You're crazy. What's wrong with you?
no, there was a girl there who was the girl. He's like, oh, that's my friend's friend. I'm trying to get him to say the name. He's acting like he doesn't even remember the girl's name. He's saying some random names. And then in this time, I go back.
Oh my God, is it Trina? Is it Patricia? Is it Dolores? Is it Guadalupe? Don't act dumb. Don't act dumb.
To her page to look at her, and I saw that he was following her. And then after I talked to him, I see he goes in and follows her. So I'm like, oh, so you do know who I'm talking about, and you were following her until now you just went in and followed. So I just hung up because I knew I was about to turn into a completely different person, and I was at the airport. So I hung up on him, waited for her to send me proof. And I'm like getting so scared and hoping that the flight gets a little delayed so I get the proof before I hop on this flight. So then she sends me a random picture that she's in his car and he has a Tesla, and I recognize his car and his hand. So I knew it was him. He is like,
son of a gun, son of a stinking unloaded gun. Why are men like this? But I'm sorry, side note, could we just agree that she has beautiful teeth? Wow. I'm mesmerized by her teeth. I'm sitting here with my yellow tooth and I'm just looking at her tooth, at her teeth, at her collection of teeth. And I'm just mesmerized. Girl.
Messaging me, he's calling me, he's blowing up my phone. So I answer him and I'm like, so why was a girl in your car? And you guys, the story he made up as to why this girl was in his car, like, he goes, oh, that was so-and-so's friend and she's never rode in a Tesla. She wanted a ride, so I just like drove her to the bar.
Oh, you wanna play with my intelligence? You calling me dumb? Oh.
You are not in a Bugatti, okay? His lies were just getting worse and worse. He even had his friend.
To be fair, I've never been in a Tesla, so I kind of would be curious to be in a Tesla, but don't play with my intelligence.
Who is the biggest liar that I do not trust, send him a message saying, oh, that was so-and-so. So he's showing me screenshots like, look, he knows I would never do anything like that. And I'm like, okay, you want me to believe this liar? You guys, if I did not have proof, the way I would have believed him, because the way he was manipulating me and telling stories, he's like, you know, I always run into your friends every time I'm out, which is true. He's like, you really think I would take some girl out to a bar knowing that I run into your friends all the time? And in my head, I'm like, he's got a point there. I don't think that if he was doing that, he would be at a bar. He would like go to someone's house. So I'm like, She had also sent me another picture, so I knew that them two were at the bar. But then I knew he was making up this whole story. He was lying. But if I didn't have that proof, I would have believed him because his lies were so believable. He's like, I would never do that to you. Are you insane? Someone is lying. They don't want us to be together. You're crazy. I just tell him, I cannot believe you and I'm done. We were getting ready to board, so I had to get off the phone. So he's blowing up my phone, sending texts, calls. I'm just ignoring it. And the girl sent me more messages. So I was fully aware of everything going on. I just sat in the plane and I was just numb. Like, I was shocked. I was numb. I couldn't even begin to process what the heck was happening with me. That entire flight for 13 hours, I just sat there like this. I didn't even recline my seat. I sat up straight like this. for 13 hours. I just closed my eyes because I didn't want to be bothered. I did not sleep. I didn't listen to my music. I did not use the bathroom. I did not drink water, food, nothing. Kept hoping that I'm dreaming. This is a nightmare and I'm going to wake up any second. The guy on the plane next to me was so freaking nice, you guys. He like tapped me to wake me up for a meal. I had already missed breakfast and lunch, and this was dinner time. So he tapped me. He's like, oh, you've been missing meals, so I got you a plate. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And he's like, you took something? And he had an accent, so I couldn't understand. So I'm like, huh? He's like, you took something to sleep like that. And I was like, oh no. And he's like, oh,
I didn't take anything. Real life got me sleeping like that, bro. My life knocked me out. But so sweet of him to think of her.
natural? And I was like, yeah, natural. He was literally concerned for my livelihood. So I didn't want him to think I was some psychopath. So I tried to eat my meal and I literally felt like I was going to throw up. I had to stop. Okay, fast forward. I'm in SF, the worst 13 hours of my entire life, to say the least. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if to still have him pick me up. I still had one more flight to go. So I messaged him saying, do not pick me up. I'll figure it out. And then I was like, okay, pick me up from the airport, because I'm like, I just need to deal with this. So I finally land home. He texted saying that he's here. He's going to park and come to baggage claim. And I'm like, no, why would you come to baggage claim? Just wait for me, pull up. I'm just going to come. Like, I don't want you to come inside. And then he's like, my mom is with me too. I'm sorry, what?
What? Why is your mom with you? Because
he says, oh, I'm going to take my mom to the sister's house and she's near you, so we're just going to drop her off. But I know what he was doing there. Like a zombie. Not only I haven't slept in like 30 plus hours, I also haven't ate. My eyes are bloodshot red. And then I walk down and he's standing there with flowers and his mom is smiling, and God bless her. I literally love her. I hugged her and I didn't hug him. She immediately knew something was up because of our body language. And she didn't speak English, so she didn't really know the few words that I said. I just said that, yeah, that's my bag. So basically in the car ride, he's like trying to sweet talk. Let's drop her off first and then we can talk. And I was like, no, drop me off first and do not come back. Like, I'm done. Okay, this is getting really long. You guys are gonna have to go to part 2. I'm sorry.
let's go on to part 2 because we need to know.
Part 2 of how I ended my 13-year relationship after finding out my ex cheated on me a few months before the wedding. So he drops me off basically and he's like begging to come over and talk. He said he can explain himself. It's not what it looks like. He's still not admitting, and I still haven't told him how I know. So in his head, he thinks that somebody saw them there. So he's like coming up with the story like, oh, I was there with friends. It wasn't just me and her. I very quickly realized this man has no guilty conscience. The fact that he did that and he was still following her says a lot about him. Like, he didn't even care to remove her until he got caught. The amount of lies this man was telling to save his life, swearing on his mom.
I swear my mom was like, man, stop trying to kill your mom, man. Your mom ain't had nothing to do with this. Stop trying to kill your mom. Just take accountability for what you did. Leave your mama out of this.
So finally, I decided to send him a screenshot of their DMs that she sent me, and his whole storyline changed. And then the way he still tried to manipulate me, try to put it on the girl like, oh, I wasn't even into her. I was texting you while I was there and she got angry and now she's messaging you. It's like, sir, we're not discussing her. We're discussing your actions. You very much yourself messaged her, asked her out, took her out to have a drink. We're talking about that. Then he had the audacity to say, don't do this. We are getting so close to getting married. Like, we cannot do this. I'm like, I don't do this. You did this. Like, be so fucking for real right now. I was just losing my shit. He's like, we're so close to getting married. We're gonna have it all. I love you so much. I would never do that to you.
What is the all that we're gonna have? You didn't think about that all before you messaged this girl, try to slide up in her DMs? Where was that all when you were messaging her? When you went out of your face to message her? Where was that all?
you would never do that to me. You just did that to me. I haven't told anyone in my family yet. I messaged his sister. She was messaging me if I'm back to let's grab dinner. So I made plans with her. I wanted to tell her. His sister was the first person I told. We went to dinner. I'm like acting casual. Like, you guys, I felt numb. I couldn't even process what was happening. Like, it was just not even clicking, like what was happening with me. Finally at dinner, she could tell my voice was cracking up. And then I just told her what happened. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He's so stupid. I'm gonna slap him. No, and I was like, no, I'm just telling you this because I don't think I can move past
The
it.
slapping is not going to fix this. If he's already doing this and you're not married, I'm scared to see what he would try to do when you do get married, or what he's already done in the past that you didn't find out about.
She's like, no way. Things like that happen, but there's no way. And she's also trying to justify his actions by blaming the girl. I'm like, the girl doesn't owe me anything. He owes me his entire life. And he messed up. Obviously, his sister was having a hard time believing that I was being so real because she could never imagine her brother doing that because he was a great brother. He was always in good light in front of them, so she could have never even imagined. But I was like, no, he admitted, and I have proof. And I cannot move past this, so I'm just telling you, like, I'm done. And she just thought I was just, like, saying it. I wasn't actually going to be done. Neither was he. He's like, no way, don't do this. We have so many years under our belt. We have the rest of our lives. Like, I will fix everything. I will do anything. I will. Guys, I was just done. Like, I cannot believe few months before our wedding, you would do this to me. We were doing so good for so many years, or as I thought. And in our happiest times, you could step out like that. I have no doubt that you will do this once we're married and have kids, and when life becomes harder. I just felt like it was a sign from God. I'm like, literally 3 months before the wedding, what are the odds? A girl has never reached out like this and gave me solid proof. This is a sign. Take it and run with it. Do not go through with this wedding.
God was smacking you in the face with a sign. God is like, girl, if you don't get this, you ain't gonna get nothing. You better grab the sign and get out of that situation.
He's like begging to come see me, and I'm saying, no, I'm done. I never want to see you again. We're writing essays. When I say essays, like, you know, the iMessages get so long where you have to click on the arrow to go into the PDF. That's how long our messages were. And this went on for months. So I took it slowly. I didn't remove him from social media. I just muted him, and I just didn't get on TikTok and Instagram for months. And I was posting nothing but wedding content. And right after I got on that flight, I went silent for months. So everyone was like, where's Aaliyah? What is going on? So then I tell my sister, after a few days of me processing it, and I realized, like, I'm done. And I told my older sister. She just was in complete shock. She started crying with me, and she's like, I'm so sorry. What are you thinking? What do you want to do? And I was like, I'm done. There's no moving forward from this. I want you to call mom and tell her to stop the wedding planning. She was messaging me like, hello, I need your approvals on things, and I wasn't responding to her. So I was like, before she goes any further with the wedding clothes, I need her to stop. She's like, are you sure, sis? And I'm like, yes. I wanted my mom to know immediately. I wanted family to know, so because there was no going back. I didn't want to fall for his lies. Then we called my mom and told her. We made sure my mom's sister and brother were with her because my mom is like loses her shit. And sure enough, she was crying and screaming. She was in shock. She literally loved him like her own. And then my mom told my aunts, and then my cousins. Then everyone's like reaching out to me, and I literally did not want to talk to anyone. I did not get out of bed. I would not eat. And my older sister was literally like such an amazing support system. She would just sit there with me, like try to talk me through things. And
I feel like some people are not going to understand why. Sorry, I don't mean to be cutting her off, but while she's on the topic, I feel like some people are not going to understand why she had to block off from the world, why she couldn't eat, why she's just, you know, down for the count. I think is when you understand the consequences of this, 13 years down the drain, a whole lifetime down the drain. I think what happened is she got to the realization that there is no salvaging this relationship. And then she started the mourning process. You're mourning a loss. I feel like I would have reacted the same. 13 years under our belt, my family loves you. My mom loves you. I'm on social media showing my ass, telling everybody that I'm gonna get married. Everyone is invested in this wedding now. For you to make a fool of me like this? I'd have to sit in a dark room as well to process for a couple of days, honestly.
We would just sit in silence for hours. My friends would come over and we would just sit in silence because I felt like someone died, because I literally felt like I couldn't move on. I was so heartbroken. Right when I thought I could have it all, it was like taken away from me in like a heartbeat, and I could not accept it. And he had the keys to my house, and he knew my parents' like work schedule. My mom was out of town, my sister was not in town, so he just showed up and I was at home working, and I told him I'm gonna call the cops if he doesn't leave. Like, he can't just pull up. He tried to talk. I said, no, I'm done. I don't want to talk. I said everything I wanted to say, and he's still trying to make it work. And I was like, there's no going back. He literally couldn't accept it because he never thought that I would leave him. He did come over another time with flowers, and at the time my two best friends were at home and we were just prepping food, and he just walked in. And it was so awkward, and I told my friend, you need to tell him to leave, like I'm going to lose my shit. And then she like walked him out, and I told him, you cannot come here, we are done, there's no working this out. And then he's sending flowers to my house, he's begging my dad, he's begging my sisters, my cousin, he's DMing my friends. And this went on for like 2 years.
2 years.
And his family is begging me, and I loved his sisters, I loved his family, but it's like, you guys are not going to live with this for the rest of your life. It's like me that will have to suffer. So I had to make a decision for myself that I do not want that life for me. Like, I was so 100% genuine and kind and loving in that relationship, and I deserve the same. If I don't know my worth, a man won't. So I was like, I have way too much self-respect for myself to let him do me this dirty. A year passed and he's still just like literally delusional. He's like, enough time has passed. Come on, let's talk this out. This is not over yet. And I'm like, what? Like, this is so over. You are crazy. And then after some time, he was started calling me from blocked calls, and then it stopped. And then he messaged my friend, like, is there anything in the world that I can do to just have a conversation with her?
Nothing! You can't do anything. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Go have a conversation with the girl that you were messaging.
And I said, no, I am done. Like, I put up with so much in that relationship, but that was my final straw. And when a woman says she's done, she is done. You have broke all trust. There's no trust in this relationship, and we're supposed to just act normal and get married in a couple months. Like, I was like, you're literally a psychopath. Like, I cannot move on. I seriously thought I would never be able to get over it because he was my entire world, and I felt like my world just came crashing. Like, I felt suffocated, that I'm literally going to die. I just couldn't imagine that I would be able to heal from something like that. But when they say time heals everything, I swear time heals everything. Like, now I wish I could go back to my old self, broken down, thought I couldn't move on even a day. I couldn't eat. I was always so nauseous. I was so miserable. I wish I could go back and tell myself, you're going to be okay. I would literally watch TikToks of girls talking about their relationship and going through similar situations, and it would make me feel so good and would give me hope that one day I will get there too. And the way sad music just was my therapy, and like listening to a good old sad song got me through it. It was so bad where I couldn't focus on anything. I couldn't do anything. My sister got puzzles for me, and puzzles was literally the only thing that I was able to just focus and forget about everything else. I would literally be up till 5 a.m. just finishing a puzzle. That was like the only thing that held my focus for like months. Yeah, it was really hard to accept, but I am so happy that I made that decision because no one deserves to go through that. And with time, the amount of clarity I got, and when you step out of a relationship, then you realize everything that was wrong with it. And I was just like so happy and counting my blessings that I found out before I got married than to be stuck in a shitty marriage. Slowly, I just had to redirect my energy in life into things and learning to be myself again. And I felt like I kind of lost myself. So I was like, okay, it's time for me to do everything that I love for me and not for anyone else. And then that's when I got really hooked on creating TikToks, and TikTok became like and still is like my creative outlet that I can forget about everything else and I have so much fun doing it. And now the peace I feel sleeping at night, knowing no one is out there embarrassing me, you guys, nothing is worth losing that peace over. To end this on a lighter note, I feel like I get a second chance to do it all over again. Like, I was in a relationship my entire 20s. I do feel sad about that at this big age now, I have to go out there and date. Like, don't even get me started. Like, what do you mean? I never actually dated before. It was not a thing back then. So now I'm like, at this big age, I'm supposed to do that. I have like no dating phases in me, even though I never went through a dating phase. The silver lining in all of this is that I get to do this my way. I have full control of my life, and no one is going to come and take that away from me. My peace, my confidence. I have so much clarity now of what I want out of a relationship or a man. And until I get exactly that, I am not settling for a man. There's so much more I can say, but I think I'll end it here. I think you guys get the gist of it. And girly pops, I hope you took some notes. Don't be ignoring those red flags. If you see a red flag, run the opposite direction. I have healed too much now, and I just don't want a man. Like, as soon as a man even looks my way or approaches me, I'm like running the other way. I just can't. But I shall take you guys along that journey when it does begin. But yeah, that was pretty much it.
You know what, Aaliyah? Thank you so much for sharing your story. You said that one of the things that you used to do when you were healing, when you were overcoming this trauma, was that you would watch TikTok videos of other girls who had gone through something similar and were sharing their stories. And now you're paying it forward. There's so much to unpack here. I mean, obviously I spoke a lot throughout this video, but I just feel like that wasn't the first time that he tried. I don't know him from Adam, and I really shouldn't be judging, but I'm judging. I'm judging hardcore because I have a feeling that this wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last. I'm sure if he has other relationships, I think he'll do that again. I don't know. It could just be me, or maybe this situation is the catalyst that will make him change his ways, because he's probably realizing how he fumbled the bag. He was too comfortable in the relationship, or it could be that in his culture he is encouraged to behave this way, because at one point his sister was telling you, yeah, but that's not that big of a deal. Like, she's justifying his actions, even though initially she couldn't believe that her amazing older brother or her amazing brother, who is so loved in the family, can do something like this. But then she's like, oh, but you know, that's not a good enough reason to end this. Which makes me think, if you went to Pakistan to get your wedding dress, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, you have some sort of ties to Pakistan, and maybe he does as well. And it could be a cultural thing where men are encouraged to behave this way. I know that in my culture, being from Guinea-Bissau, they applaud men who have multiple women, who chase multiple women. In fact, a man who is faithful and loyal to one woman is seen as This is why my country is so corrupt and we'll never move forward. Sorry, Guinea-Bissau. I love us. I live and breathe for us, but we know what it is. Bringing his mom to the airport to pick you up, knowing what mess he made, is a next level diabolical behavior. This man is calculated. This man is calculated. He probably thought, you know what, let me take my mom because I'm gonna get to the airport. She's gonna start drama. It's gonna be chaotic. You know, if I use my mom as a pawn in this, my mom can soften everything. I think you did well to tell him to drop you off first. And go away, go with your mama. Go with your mama somewhere. Because if the sister's justifying your behavior, I'm pretty sure the mom would be justifying the behavior as well. And going back to the sister saying that this is not a strong enough reason to throw away this whole relationship. This man wasn't even your husband yet. Imagine the comfort of having the marriage certificate. What then would he be doing?
Nonsense. That's absolute nonsense.
13 years down the drain, you really were mourning a loss. That is a big loss. A loss of your dreams, of your time, a loss of your energy, of love, a loss of family, because your families got intertwined in those 13 years. So it was a huge loss. Shout out to the siblings your sisters, shout out to the family members, shout out to the friends who are by our side when we're going through hardship. Because I'm one of those people, when I'm suffering, I suffer alone. I like to put myself in a hole where no one can touch me, and I will just suffer alone. I remember when my grandmother died, I locked myself in my room to the point that my cousin, who was living in we were all living in London, but she lived in in a different town in London. She had to come and check on me because I was not okay. I was not talking to anybody. People started getting worried about me. That's how I process things. So shout out to the family and to the friends who show up for you, who show up for you in moments of need. I think a couple of things that we can do in our healing journey is to find music that can uplift you or that can help you go through it. Whatever genre makes you feel good, listen to it. Whether you need to cry, whether you need to laugh, whether you need to jiggle, whether you need to shake your booty, okay? Whether you need to rap, whether you need to be a gangster real quick. I think I could almost say it was one of my first loves. When that ended and I had time to process everything, I kind of did something similar to what Aaliyah did, where I stayed in my room, I cried it out. I just cried it out. And one of the things that I used to do was listen to sad songs. And I had one sad song in particular, Tony Braxton's Spanish Guitar. Man, when I tell you, I was torturing myself with that song. I'll be your song, your song, your song. I'll be a son. I listened to that song so much that now I can't listen to that song anymore. That is just one song that I get, but it helped me through that. You have to ride that wave of emotions. You have to get that out of your system. Cry it out, sis. Go through your time. But obviously you're not gonna dedicate 5,000 years to this. You're gonna go through it, come out when you're ready, but don't let it take over your life. Don't let the healing journey take over your life. Puzzles, like Aaliyah said, she was doing a lot of puzzles. Her sister got her puzzles, I think. Puzzles help. Coloring is so big on TikTok now and on social media, in fact. It's just really therapeutic to just sit in peace, maybe with a glass of wine or a glass of something or a cup of tea with a drink, and you just color with a candle lit nearby, with ambiance lighting, a little music in the background, and color. Just be with your thoughts, be one with your thoughts. You could exercise. You don't have to do heavy exercising if you don't want to. You can do a little yoga, a little Pilates. The girls are all into Pilates these days. A little Pilates, okay? Go walking. Walk with your phone for security nearby, but go walk, go clear your mind, go be one with nature. That's a great way to overcome things as well. Find hobbies, refine yourself. So Aaliyah had to go on a journey of refining herself because all of her 20s, 13 years were dedicated to this man. She didn't know who she was when she came out of that, and she had to refine yourself. Find hobbies, find things that you like to do. And do something that scares you. Do something that scares you. You want to go salsa dancing? Go salsa dancing. You want to go be a firefighter? Go fight the fire, sis. Journaling is another great way to do self-therapy. Volunteering, I think volunteering is great because you can focus on something else and distract yourself, but then also for a good cause, especially if you're volunteering with kids, with animals. Being in contact with animals is a great way to get over traumatic experiences or to get over hurt or heal. A great way to heal. She said that she also saw social media as an outlet, a creative outlet for her. She then dedicated herself to her TikTok, so you can do that as well. Create a community and find people who went through the same things and support each other, encourage each other, uplift each other. You'd be surprised of the power of the social media community. Social media has its pros and cons, but I will say that when you get a community going or when you find your community, it could be life-changing for the better. Just be careful, because social media can be like a slippery slope. You just have to stay grounded with that one, okay? Talk about it. So, on social media, she made videos and she spoke about it. That's another great way to release. Talk about it too. Therapy. I didn't want to say therapy first because that's so predictable. But therapy is a great way. And therapy doesn't have to be just with a therapist. It could be with friends. It could be support groups. There are so many ways to talk to others. And I know sometimes we don't want to talk to someone we know. We don't want to we don't want to offload on them. But I'm sure you can find other people that you can talk to. A therapist would be ideal because they will help you manage your emotions and they'll give you tools to turn things around. Aaliyah, girl, I'm sorry that you went through that, and I'm even more sorry that so many years of your life were dedicated to that man. But you're still young, and I know that there are amazing things ahead for you. I definitely felt when you said you don't even want a man, like you don't want a man coming next to you. Y'all, don't let my man hear this. Don't let my man hear this. But I honestly tell you, if I wasn't with him, I wouldn't want anyone.
I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Aaliyah, thank you for sharing your story once again. You guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section respectfully. Do you feel that she could have let this one go? Do you feel like it wasn't that bad of a situation that she had to end a lifetime of a relationship because of a date that didn't even get physical? What do you guys think? Let me know, because some of the comments I saw suggested that she was being a bit extra. So I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, once again, it's your girl Djena. I'm signing out. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, okay? Subscriptions matter. You subscribing matters, okay? Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.